Divine Feminine Collective, welcome, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist, and we're going to do your reading for this connection that you are in. We're going to talk about your masculine, maybe some physical attributes and characteristics, dynamics about, or circumstances about how you met or will meet. So that you know whether or not you can have confirmation whether or not this is the person you're dealing with is your person, right? They say when you know, you know. But when you're a child of chaos, fear and intuition feel very similar. You got the devil here. You could be dealing with a Capricorn or have Capricorn placements, the Hierophant, Taurus. But the Page of Wands is action, and there's some sort of inaction with this connection. Death. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. Or have Scorpio placements, but the number 13, 4, you could be a life path 4, you could be seeing things in the series of 4, getting a lot of deja vu, right? Because death and rebirth is like, I've done this before. You and this person have done this before. It could be an Aquarius, but I put that back in there, so there's something healing about this connection. There's a burden, and no longer listening to the negative talk, negative self-talk, emotional, something on the feminine side, the maternal side, excuse me, where it's, I think that receiving compliments, words of affirmation, words and talk has gotten to a place where it just messes with your emotions. You dealt with people who mess with your emotions, and this is the burden of maybe hearing them out and changing yourself so much because you are accommodating and you want to be, you care about the person you're with and you want to be better for them, right? I just did my skincare routine, so I'm kind of like, this is what we are getting, collective. And maybe there's some sort of concern about your physical appearance, feminines, where you are just questioning whether or not you are good enough for this person, whether or not they find you attractive. Maybe you were raised by a very vain mother who just told you weren't good enough, you weren't pretty enough. I'm getting the song Fancy by Reba. So you could have been sexualized early, feminines. Maybe you developed early. If you are, a woman, maybe you as a woman, you developed early. So you may have gotten attention from a lot of very low vibrational individuals because, that was inappropriate. So we'll leave that there, but there could be something about your value system that was in question for a long time because of the way that you were brought up, because of the burdens of other people's bullshit you put on yourself. It was like it was dumped on you as a child, and then you, it's at one point you just went, who am I? It's like you put on a different mask with Halloween just passing. It's like maybe your birthday's Halloween, maybe, around that season, again, with the scorpionic energy. But there is this you've put on a mask for every person you're around. When you're at work, you wear a mask. It's like you lost yourself along the way. You had no idea who you were, and you were just taking one step in front of the other with everybody else's bullshit on you. Maybe Taurus, you have strong Taurus placements, or you're dealing with a Taurus. The Star, Aquarius. Why am I pulling the clarifiers? I'm pulling the clarifiers before I even pull the masculine. It's like you want the answer. It's like you want to know who your person is without having to deal with the masculine. Maybe, again, with that intuition and fear, not knowing whether or not something is intuition or fear, you could be very attracted to this masculine, and it could be stirring up these old shadows, and you want to make sure that it's not just going to be a bunch of wants. Maybe you went through a promiscuous phase, and you gave your body, you gave your mind, you gave your soul, your heart, your spirit to so many people. It's like you were just this empty vessel. And Seven of Cups is like this period of rediscovery. It's kind of going through, looking at all the options. This could be dating again with the cups, but it's almost like rediscovering yourself, which is really beautiful because it brought you out of this anxiety. And I just did the masculines reading, and they were seeing you as this, and you both went through very similar things with the 10 of Wands. But with the masculine here, I feel like this masculine is very helpful. Maybe the acts of service is their love language. With the King of Wands here, they're not a big talker. 5 of Swords, this is maybe a very wallflower, introverted masculine, but they see that you need help here, feminines, that you are overwhelmed with your circumstances, that and they understand, this masculine understands as a King of Wands, so they could be quite into like magic with a K. You know, they could be, this is a magician, it's a divine alchemist. So they understand elements, and they understand masculine and feminine energy. So they know maybe they had stronger feminine influences, or they have like sisters, female friends. They've got sort of like a nurturing village of feminines around them, maybe. Or they were like the only boy in a house full of girls. You know, it's like they can sense, like if your mood dips, they're like, oh, you're on your cycle. And it's not like, oh, you must be on your period, right? If that still applies, but that's just an example of, you know, where other masculines, and I'm speaking very traditionally here, a lot of fixed energy, so you both could be fixed signs. But this is very traditional. It feels very man, woman. Like I'm seeing a young boy surrounded by women, and it wasn't like, oh gosh, she's on her period, you know? It's like she's on her cycle. This masculine like understands femininity in a way, to where they are like, they can sense when they're very intuitive, and they're very in tuned with female energy. They know how to alchemize with the 5D as well, because this is the King of Wands. This is a magical, wizardy type dude, right? Maybe they are older, maybe there's an age difference, so maybe they've been married before, and so they know they're just good at partnership. They're good at understanding, and they're very traditional because they're action oriented. They're in their masculine energy. They're not a big talker, right? Most men are not. That's more of a feminine thing. Like the females of a tribe would sit together and they would have conversations. The masculines, the men would go out and they would hunt, and they would go explore, or like have like conversations with other tribes or men in politics. It's like they would sort things out like that. But it's the feminine communication and connection is water. It's more feminine energy, right? So this masculine is they're action oriented. So I do feel like maybe acts of service is their love language. They might not be able to tell you how much they feel for you, feminines, but they see you and they want to be your hero, and that's all that matters. They're just going to do it differently. So feminines, you have been doing it all by yourself, and these masculines are like, here, let me help you carry that. Let this masculine, feminines, just try it out. Just try it for a whim, a whirlwind, whatever. Just for a little whimsy. I don't know what I was going to say there, but it's like, because I feel like you are reluctant to try dropping. I want to say dropping because it sounds like it's down, but feminine energy is down, right? Mania, and maybe you struggle with bipolarity or some sort of mood disorder, and that's it here. Like they can sense when you have seasonal depression, or maybe you have a very intense cycle, and that could be in your body or just emotionally with the moon cycles, right? Like you're very influenced by the 5D, and it's taxing on your 3D body, and the masculine sees that, and that's why the union is there, so that you can come together and help each other. And the feminine will help instruct this masculine how to communicate those things. But this masculine is going to have to be in a very safe and unique place. So this place that you help each other hold. And I love that. You help each other hold it. It's like there is such a partnership here where it's like you sense what's going on with your person. You have a conversation about it. Or like with this masculine, maybe they don't want to talk about their feelings, feminine. And maybe, the way that we give love and receive love is often different, right? So we give love in the way that maybe we never received. So maybe this masculine is displaying how they want to be loved, and the feminine's going to pick up on that. And so it's like you're both finally going to be loved unconditionally and in the way that you want. Holy shit. That sounds cool. Because the Six of Wands is recognition, and it's also this like, I'm off, boys. It's like Goodwill Hunting. I don't know why that was so hard. Goodwill Hunting, maybe the name Will, or Matt Damon, and Robin Williams, where they're talking about, I had to see about a girl. I gotta go see about a girl. I feel like this masculine is like Bonnie Tyler holding out for a hero. Also Footloose. Maybe this masculine is gonna take you out dancing. But the Lovers is the dancer. It was formerly known as the Dancer's card, like originally. So this is your lover, your counterpart. I don't know, this is a lot of like chaotic cards here, but I'm feeling such a like, finally, like I can let that go, or I don't have to go through that anymore. The High Priestess. Feminines, I think you feel this. You could be dealing with a masculine earth sign with the King of Pentacles. That's some Taurus energy. Four of Wands. Yeah, this is marriage. Traditionalist with the High Priestess and the King of Pentacles. I get the Hierophant. The King of Pentacles often represents Taurus as well. With the Four of Wands, it's 1111. It's the Elementalist, the Magician, Throat Chakra, Gemini, Virgo. But the Four of Wands was a major theme. It came out 3 times in the masculines reading that I just did. All right, Death, more scorpionic energy. Knight of Cups, so more water energy. Holy shit. Okay, this is a lot. Okay, it's not that much. We're good. We're okay. We're going to make it. Six of Pentacles is coming together in some sort of union. Nine of Pentacles, it's going to be very financially abundant. So there is that working together. And that also came out in the masculine side. And I think that I'm referring to that masculine reading because this is the collective that's dealing with each other. This masculine and feminine energy that I'm tapping into is the same dynamic. And I do feel like the feminine is waiting for instruction. They're waiting for guidance in the 3D, right? For a masculine to come in and say, this is what I want. I want this 1111. I want to marry you. And whatever that looks like for you. If you don't want to go down to the courthouse or the church, whatever. But they want to choose you, right? Every day for the rest of your lives. So there is some sort of promise, some sort of vow, some sort of declaration of independence. Nicolas Cage. See, I gotta see about a girl. Nicolas Cage, Disney. I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. Yeah. So there's something about that. Con Air. And I'm already doing it in his accent. He's like, I'm gonna save the day. I'm gonna save the motherfucking day. Or whatever he says. I'm gonna save the... Yeah. I'm gonna save the day. It's this... We got the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So that is feminine energy. This masculine, again, feels like they are in their feminine. They could be water sign or have like strong feminine elemental placements. But Knight of Cups and Knight of Pentacles, this is someone who's coming in very slow and steady, but it has longevity. It doesn't win the race, but it'll last the marathon, right? And that's what we want, feminines, right? Right? Yeah, it's time. It's about damn time. I knew this type of masculine existed. You were barely hanging on to hope that this type of masculine existed, though, feminines. Prompt pumpkin. Yeah, this is something that is like a long-awaited success in love and with finances, because you've got the gold, the wheat, Virgo energy. Prompt pumpkin. That's like Cinderella. This prince, which is also the knight, right? Always arrive on time. Must be home by midnight. Always arrive on time. So this feels like a date. This masculine's going to be like around the corner from your house. If they say, hey, I want to meet at 6:30, go out to dinner, right? Now, if this is a masculine who is calling you or texting you like WID at 11 p.m. That's not him, feminines. This is someone who's like, let's go. And with the pumpkin, I'm also getting like pumpkin spice lattes. This is a masculine who's going to 4224. So those numbers might be important to you. This masculine is going to ask you out for coffee. They're going to take you out in the fucking daylight. Come on. Like, just because you're the ruler of the 5D feminine doesn't mean that you want to exist there all the time. You want the sunlight. You need the sun on your face. So maybe you're going to be going outside to like a park or somewhere where there's like sunshine, where it's like prompt pumpkin. Maybe you're going to go to a pumpkin patch. I mean, it is the time for that. So maybe you're going to go do something cute like that. But I get a date, and I feel like the masculine's going to be around the corner, like 30 minutes early, like waiting to show, like they want to, they're in such a hurry, not like a thirsty, rushed energy. They're just like, ooh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to be with this feminine. And then it's like they've got a whole itinerary plan. And with the pumpkin and carrots, I'm getting no strings attached, but there is a red string element here, right? There is a soulmate energy here, but maybe it started as friends with benefits, or maybe it started as some sort of platonic dynamic, but you were both fooling yourselves. Come on, because we know that doesn't work. Let's be real. Prompt pumpkin is like, she's like, I don't fucking want flowers. Take me out. She doesn't say it like that, but that's kind of her energy. But it's Natalie Portman. She's Gemini, which is the lovers. This is the deer, Native American zodiac. So maybe those give you some sort of nods or confirmations. And then Ashton Kutcher, I looked him up. I think he's a Cancer. So you could deal with the Cancer. So there's like water energy here, air energy, which is very light. Right? This is the mutable. It's the mutable aspects of all the mutable signs is air and water. It's the duality of those who just kind of go with the flow, the current, the unseen current, right? There's the wind, and then there's the current in the ocean. Birds, fish, ever after. A bird may love a fish, signore, but where would they live? Well, then I will have to make you wings. It's like your spirit team is here, or you could have some like elder mentor that's there that's like, she's your Madge Henry. Like, you guys, like, just make this happen. And you could be looking to like grandparents or parents or a couple that's like asking them for advice, or your person could be asking other couples for advice. Like, you guys seem to be doing okay. Like, do you have any tips for me? Like, how should I approach this? Or how did you meet? What sold you on him? Like, what did he do? And they could be like gathering information as how to approach you, or the type of date. They could be like asking your friends. Maybe you guys are in the same community or friend group, and they're asking other people, like maybe your birthday is coming up, or with Thanksgiving, you're going to be getting together with everybody, and they're like, they want to make your favorite dish. They're very specific points, but I just feel like this masculine, like, they will do anything for this feminine. They want to make sure that this feminine feels loved. That makes me very emotional. They want to make sure that this feminine feels loved. They see this feminine for who they are, and they see that they've been through a lot. They've like had strength to hold out, and we've got 3 scorpionic energies. So this is like the season, I feel, that we are in, that this is coming together. Prompt pumpkin, this is harvest time. It's time to harvest this crop. And this masculine knows that it's like a long awaited plan that they've had. Something about Utah, 9 of Swords. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. 3 of Pentacles. That's the collaboration that's coming together, and I'm good at this, you're good at that. She's good at that, he's good at that. So it's like when you are in school, maybe somebody's in school, maybe you meet in school, you're like in the same group. Maybe you've known each other since, you know, your schooling years. And this is a return, because this does feel like a friend that's been waiting a long time, 10 of Pentacles, to grow old with you, to come together. Like, we're so good together. Let's just be together. Let's get all the other perks out of this connection. Or maybe you already have those perks, but the perks that you want are stability, financial independence, and I keep getting substance, but that's not the word I'm looking for. It's stability. It's security. Security. So it's like a companionship, but it's not without passion. 7. Yeah, that gives me friends. Again, friends. Something with friends. I can't be your friend anymore. Maybe that's a conversation that you have, like, I can't be your friend anymore. Harvest. It's time to harvest this. 7. Monica. Maybe the name Monica. Dark-haired female. You could, and like, so different. You're compatible at your core, but you both have been like this in your lives, I feel, because it's like Chandler and Monica. You know, one of you is very easygoing, one of you's like maybe neurotic as hell, and then but they're friends, and then they slip up at a wedding, right? So maybe something about a wedding. You'll go to a wedding. Prompt pumpkin. She's wearing the gown. The pumpkin gives me like a limo or a taxi. Oh, and no strings attached. She doesn't want any of the cutesy shit, but then she does, of course, because that's what we all really want. We all really want to be just disgustingly in love. Come on. We wouldn't watch the movies and we wouldn't get so aggravated when we're rejected. Holy shit. Redacted. Yeah, somebody's like redacting something. Somebody is nervous about rejection. They feel like you're probably, and in Friends, they kind of have that dynamic of like, you're too good for me. And in No Strings Attached, there's that dynamic as well. She's a resident. She's a doctor in training. Like, she's going to be doing all kinds of amazing stuff. And he, what does he do? I was going to say he sells diapers, but that's Ashton Kutcher in A Lot Like Love, which is another beautiful film. Jet, look what you've done. You've made a fool of everyone. This person's made a fool out of you, and I'm looking at the fool on this Van Gogh deck here. Oh, this is like a lot of incoming information. I think this masculine's gonna kind of shock the hell out of you when they express how they feel. He brings her carrots. He has an itinerary for their date. Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do a date? Yeah, I do feel like this is merging people. Yellow. Yellow is the sun. It's the solar plexus, the inspiration. It's again, this feels very, I'm using words like compatibility, structure, stability, security, and you're like, okay, but where's that fire? Because I do feel like that's what you wanted, because you have probably both been single, maybe celibate for a while, with the 10 of Wands that you both share, the 4 of Pentacles that you both share. That's someone that's reluctant to open up or let others in. There's something very open about this masculine, something very social about this masculine, but nobody really knows anything about them. So it's a little bit superficial, but they've done that. And you understand that, feminines, because of all the masks that you have worn before. You understand why they're doing that. Okay, so affirmations for the throat chakra. So we were getting the Magician, we were getting the Gemini, Virgo, and Taurus, mercurial energy. This is the throat chakra. So it is, okay, it's a little poem or affirmations. Lo, I am come to do thy will, O God. I am life of God direction. Blaze thy light of truth in me. Focus here all God's perfection. From all discord set me free. Make and keep me anchored ever in the justice of thy plan. I am the presence of perfection, living the life of God in man. Okay, so I pulled an affirmation for the masculine, and it was about perfection as too. You are perfect. And it was, in order to achieve perfection, a man must see perfection. And feminine, this is you affirming. Throat chakra. When you affirm, especially when you do any work on your chakras, but when you affirm from the throat chakra, that is your sword of truth. That's the Ace of Swords. That is speaking your truth into existence. It's what you feel and what you see in the 5D, and you're bringing it into the 3D. it's communication. So there is a truth. So when you speak truth to yourself about yourself, feminines, you encourage your masculine in the 5D to also speak their truth. So you sort of bring them in. You show them by leading by example, right? Because feminines lead in the 5D, in the emotions, in the unseen. They are the goddess of that. And masculines are the god of the 3D, right? Don't tell them all they're gods. But not every one of them are worthy of that title. Or feminines, okay? But I'm here with you, sisters. So, you know, I've got to be in with you. I'm biased. Okay, so maybe there's somebody who's bi. But there's like this this understanding, and that's how this masculine feels as well. They're very much in their feminine, where they can access that. So they're gonna understand it. You lead them, and it's like they're waiting. The masculines are waiting for this cue from you, feminines, to submit into your full feminine. And that does not mean that you are lower than. To submit to somebody, to give your trust to somebody, is like that wild horse thing that I was getting before. Maybe that was in the masculine reading. I think it was. There's this wild aspect, this wild animal aspect to you. And if you've ever like fed a wild animal or helped a wild animal in any way, the trust that it takes, the patience and the strength and the courage that it takes in you to approach or to ask for you put your hand out, you ask for their permission to help them, to feed them, to love them, to care for them, to bring them to safety if they're in an unsafe place. That's what this masculine is doing. And so they are submitting and humbling themselves, this masculine, so that you can give them the cue that you are willing to trust them. And when you fall, feminines, they're going to catch you. That's the difference. Because submit, I feel like, was a little bit of a, nope, I've submitted. No, you didn't submit. You completely caved. You lost yourself with other masculines because they didn't have the power or the strength to catch you. This masculine does. So they're going to earn your trust. And that's why I get this friendship, this kind of long-standing dance where they're like, right, a masculine leads on the dance floor. But a feminine has to submit and go, I like the way your hips sway. I trust you. I trust that wherever you take me. And that's the song Sun Looks, which is Let Me Follow. Let me follow. So there's this like mutual, which it's like a switch, an energy switch. You're comfortable. There's no competition or ego here. It's a very humble and gracious and trusting thing here. Exchange. It's an exchange. Balance and inner peace. Peace, be still, peace, be still, peace, be still. That tells me you need to get into your feminine energy. I think that you've been operating, and I was getting operating a lot. I am the hand of God in action, gaining victory every day. My pure soul's greatest faction is to walk the middle way. The middle way, which is balanced. You're done with extremes, feminine. You just want peace. You just want peace, and this masculine is here for that peace. So, I didn't pull any numbers. For the masculine, we have 5. For the feminine, we got 2. Okay, so there was this way and that way. So maybe you've got multiple choices here, feminines, because 2 is all about a decision. It's that fork in the road. The masculines are over there kind of in a feeling left out in the cold. So maybe you've said something, maybe there was some sort of interaction or lack of interaction where the masculines felt like, oh, okay, I guess they don't want me. I guess I'm not for them. So you may have said something like, oh, I would never date a smoker. And maybe the masculine's like, you know, it could be something very simple like that. Or if they're gathering information, they might be like, oh gosh, this feminine's ex was like this. And they're like, oh gosh. They're calculating, but not in a way to manipulate you. They're calculating in a way to, like they're putting on their gloves. It's like you're a fox caught in a feminines, not to make you such a damsel, but I do get that sort of like you're locked in some sort of barbed wire. Samuel, maybe the name Sam is important. Tristan, Samuel, Tristan. Legends of the Fall, also fall time. We are in that, so I do feel like it's coming together here. And it's the three brothers, right? You get the jovial kind of page energy. You get the knight, that Tristan, the fighter, the one where you get that chemistry. And then you have the eldest brother, Aiden, who, which is Pisces, Sagittarius, and I don't know the actor for Samuel, but yeah, I think there's Sagittarius and Pisces is the other brother, so maybe those signs are important to you. But that's water. It's very romantic, and he offers her stability. He offers her a life of luxury that she's deserving of. So again, you might have a choice between three. One might take you this way, one might take you this way, but there's one here that's everything. They're the perfect balance of both. So it's walking that middle way. But it's like, because they're so perfect, you see them as so perfect for you, feminine. Maybe other feminines wouldn't see them as perfect. They're perfect for you, and you are perfect for them. So any of your Virgo placements can just chill the fuck out. You're perfect as you are. So perfection is a big aspect to the holdup in this connection. 31-41 could be a 10-year age difference or something like that. And somebody's like, oh gosh, they would never want me. I'm so old, I can't do those things. And the feminine's like, oh gosh, but, and I'm saying oh gosh a lot. Oh gosh, oh golly gosh. There's something kind of like maybe a surprise. Maybe it's going to be a surprise that you actually received everything that you asked for. You are deserving of your dream. You dreamed it. It's your dream. Of course you're fucking deserving of it. Why wouldn't you be? So any of those questions, center with yourself, right? The Four of Wands, the Four of Swords is a good way to kind of meditate, come into a place of visualization, of getting your body into a state of I am perfect, I am peace. All the things you want, say that you are them, and then you will attract things that confirm that. You will attract job offers, you will attract lovers, you will attract everything down to music, synchronicities. You might be seeing animals or helping an animal, and maybe that's going to be a confirmation for you. You might get signs and synchronicities through animals or nature, and you know that those are nods from your ancestors or your spirit team. For me, cardinals, which is unfortunate because where I am now, there aren't any cardinals. And where I came from, there were plenty of cardinals. So maybe there's something about that. Maybe you've moved recently, or maybe you're just not seeing the signs anymore, and you're kind of like, and that's what your spirit team will do. They'll give you the signs so that you know, and now they're like, you should know. You should know. This is where you have to trust your intuition. We can't like, I don't want to say baby step you through it, but we can't walk you through this, because this part is free will. This part is free will. The choice is free will. Your spirit team can't do that. They can give you signs, little nods of approval. Like if you're in a moment where you're like, maybe you just talked to a masculine, you stayed up all night, you talked on the phone, you had a conversation, maybe you just left their presence, and you're like, because that's the biggest indicator, feminines, isn't it? How do I feel around this person? You feel very good when you're dealing with, or right after. Especially after is important, because when you're in it, it can be all exciting, but then when afterward you're like, oh God, I feel really, oh gosh, oh golly, oh gosh. I'm just gonna say that all day apparently. Oh golly, oh gosh, I feel really anxious now. And then you can kind of tell, oh, this is an attachment. This person's like a drug. That's actually not that's not a place where I want to be. This person, you're going to feel very comforted. If there are moments where you're not speaking to them, you're okay. It's like there's just such a knowing, but there's still some part of you that's questioning, but is it? And it reminds me of that meme where it's like a girl asking, I know you just gave me a sign, but could I get a signier sign? You know, it's like you're wanting like a double confirmation, feminines, and the double confirmation is you. You know, only you know, based on how you feel around this person, whether or not this is the middle path. The middle path is the divine path. All right, anything outside of the middle path gives me distractions. So there's these distractions coming in, and you're like, oh, maybe I've never felt deserving of a masculine who led the way, who made me feel secure. And then here's this little temptation over here that feels very familiar. It feels familiar because you've already been there. You already know what that fucking looks like and how it turns out. You don't want that. Ooh. Maybe you have to tell somebody, you have to break the news to somebody, like, it's been fun, it's been real, it just hasn't been real fun, right? So yeah, only you know, feminines. And I know that's probably not the answer you're wanting, but hopefully there was a confirmation or synchronicity or something in here that gave you a signier sign, or just gave you the confidence to choose. And another thing there is a person that is good for you, that is healthy for you in friendships, in love, in anything, they're going to let you choose yourself. So if you're willing to choose yourself with this person and they're still around, that's good. Because anyone who's in a lower vibration, if you choose yourself, if you say like, oh, you know what, I decided I don't feel up for going out tonight, can we reschedule? They're going to blow off. They're going to be passive aggressive. They're going to do something manipulative. They're going to take it offensively because they view your time and your energy as their time and their energy. This person does not. This person is like, okay, take your time. I want you to choose me. I want to be chosen, not for the sake of being chosen, but because I think we would be good together. So they want you to want them, right? They don't want to just be something that you're choosing because you feel like you're settling, or, you know. So this masculine might be doing something where they're like showing you their freaky side, because I feel like feminines, there's a big concern of like, am I going to be bored? Like, if this is the last person I'm with ever? Because I think maybe that you've only seen them in one light. You've only seen them in like a very responsible light, which is great. You want responsible, but you also want a little bit of recklessness, like planned spontaneity, or like safe, risky business. You know, like, you know, the kids are they're at the babysitters or they're at your mom's or something, like, and then you can be wild in the house because you know you're alone. It feels like that. So maybe that's specific, maybe there are kids involved. But anyway, I hope there's something in here for you, feminines. Thank you for your time, your energy, your support. And until next time, I wish you well.